Marcus pulled into his driveway at midnight. The porch light was off. That was strange. Elena always left it on for him. He tried his key in the front door. It slid in but wouldn't turn. He jiggled it, tried again. Nothing. His stomach dropped. "Elena," he called, knocking. "Baby, open up." Silence. He walked around to the side gate. Locked. The kitchen window he could usually see through was dark, curtains drawn. He pressed his face against the glass of the back door. Empty. The kitchen table where they ate breakfast every morning was gone. His phone was already in his hand, dialing Elena's number. Straight to voicemail. He tried again. Same thing. A third time. Nothing. Marcus stood in his backyard, his heart hammering. He called Elena's mother. "What do you want, Marcus?" Mrs. Chen's voice was ice. "Where's Elena? Where's my son? I came home and nobody's here. The locks are changed. You came home." She laughed, bitter. "Interesting. Because Elena came home yesterday and you weren't there. Just like you weren't there on Tuesday. Or last weekend. Or most nights this month. I've been working. You know my schedule is crazy. Stop lying to my daughter's face. We all know about Jessica." The name hit him like a punch. "What are you talking about?" "The woman you've been seeing for 4 months. The one you take to hotels. The one you choose over your wife and your baby boy." Marcus's legs went weak. He sat down hard on the back steps. "Where is she?" "Somewhere safe. Somewhere you can't hurt her anymore." The line went dead. Marcus tried Elena's number 15 more times. Voicemail. He called her sister, her best friend, even her cousin. Nobody answered. Or if they did, they hung up the moment they heard his voice. He went back to his car and just sat there, engine off, staring at the dark house. How did Elena find out? He'd been careful. Jessica worked in a different part of the city. They never went anywhere Elena might see them. His phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. "Lawyer will contact you Monday. Do not try to find us." Marcus's hands shook as he typed back. "Who is this?" No response. He started the car and drove. He didn't know where he was going until he pulled up outside Jessica's apartment building. He sat in the parking lot for 20 minutes before going up. Jessica answered the door in a silk robe, smiling. "Hey, stranger. I wasn't expecting you tonight." "Elena's gone," he said, walking past her into the apartment. "She left. Took our son. Changed the locks." Jessica's smile faded. "Wait, what?" "She knows about us. Her whole family knows. Everyone knows." "How?" "I don't know." Marcus ran his hands over his face. "I don't know how she found out, but she's gone. She took Noah and I don't know where they are." Jessica pulled her robe tighter. Okay, let's think about this. She probably just needs time to cool off. She'll come back. She changed the locks, Jessica. She planned this. While I was here with you last night, she was packing up my house and disappearing." The words hung in the air between them. Jessica looked away. "Maybe you should go stay at a hotel tonight," she said quietly. "Give me some space to process this." Marcus stared at her. "Space? I just told you my family is gone and you need space? This is a lot, Marcus. I didn't sign up for divorce drama and custody battles. You knew I was married." "Yeah, but I thought," she stopped, shook her head. "Never mind. I think you should go." Marcus left. He drove to a hotel near the airport, checked in with just his wallet and the clothes on his back. Everything else was in the house he could no longer enter. The room smelled like bleach and old carpet. He lay on the bed fully clothed, staring at the ceiling. His phone stayed silent. No calls. No texts. Nobody checking if he was okay. He thought about Noah. 3 months old with Elena's dark eyes and his nose. Marcus had been there when he was born, had cut the cord, had held him in the hospital. But since then? He'd changed maybe a dozen diapers. He could count on one hand the number of times he'd been the one to soothe Noah when he cried at night. Elena had done everything. The night feedings, the diaper changes, the doctor appointments. She'd quit her job as a graphic designer to stay home with Noah. And Marcus had rewarded her sacrifice by sleeping with someone else. His phone rang. A number he didn't recognize. Mr. Marcus Turner? A woman's voice, professional and cold. Yes. This is Patricia Wong from Wong & Associates. I'm calling on behalf of your wife, Elena Turner. You should expect to receive divorce papers within the next 72 hours. All communication from this point forward should go through legal counsel. Wait, I need to talk to Elena. I need to explain. Mr. Turner, there's a temporary restraining order in place. You're not to contact Mrs. Turner or approach her residence. Violation will result in arrest. Her residence? That's my house. Not anymore. Mrs. Turner has been granted temporary occupancy while the divorce is pending. A court hearing is scheduled for next month regarding permanent custody arrangements for your son. You can't keep me from my own child. Mr. Turner, I suggest you retain legal counsel. Good evening. She hung up. Marcus threw his phone across the room. It hit the wall and clattered to the floor, screen cracked but still working. He called his brother. Do you know what time it is? David's voice was groggy. Elena left me. She took Noah. I can't go home. Silence. Then, what did you do? Why do you assume I did something? Because Elena doesn't just leave. She's the most patient person I know. So what did you do? Marcus closed his eyes. I had an affair. Jesus, Marcus. I know. How long? 4 months. And she just found out? I guess. I don't know. Nobody will tell me anything. David sighed heavily. Where are you? Airport Hotel. Room 304. I'll be there in 30 minutes. Elena stood at the window of her new apartment, watching the sunrise paint the sky orange and pink. Noah slept in his carrier against her chest, his tiny fists curled near his face. The apartment was small. 1 bedroom, barely furnished. But it was hers. She'd signed the lease 3 weeks ago, before Marcus even knew she was planning to leave. She'd been moving things gradually, a box at a time, while he was at work. Or with Jessica. Wherever he actually was. Her phone buzzed. A text from her mother. He called again. Didn't answer. How are you? Elena typed back with one hand. We're okay. Noah slept 3 hours straight. That's a record. Good. Let me know if you need anything. Your father and I can come help. I know. Thank you. Elena set the phone down and looked around the apartment. Boxes were stacked against the walls, most still unpacked. She'd grabbed the essentials, clothes, Noah's things, important documents. Everything else could wait. The doorbell rang. Elena tensed, her hand instinctively protective over Noah's back. But when she checked the peephole, she saw her best friend Maya holding 2 coffee cups and a bag from the bakery. Breakfast delivery, Maya announced when Elena opened the door. I brought your favorite. Almond croissants and the strongest coffee they had. Elena's throat tightened. Thank you. They sat at the small kitchen table, Noah still asleep between them and his carrier. Maya didn't ask questions, didn't push. She just sat there, present and solid. I found out 6 weeks ago, Elena said finally. A woman messaged me on social media. She said she'd seen Marcus at a restaurant with someone. Sent me photos. Why didn't you tell me? Because I needed to be sure. And I needed a plan. Elena stirred her coffee. I hired someone to follow him. Got proof. Documented everything. Then I found this apartment, set up a new bank account, talked to a lawyer. I made sure I had everything in place before I left. You did all that while taking care of a newborn? I had to. For Noah. Elena looked at her sleeping son. I couldn't stay with someone who chose someone else over us. What kind of example would that set? Maya reached across the table and squeezed her hand. You're the strongest person I know. I don't feel strong. I feel exhausted. Those things aren't mutually exclusive. After Maya left, Elena unpacked boxes. She set up Noah's nursery in the small second bedroom. The crib she'd bought online, the changing table from a second-hand store. Everything was different from the expensive nursery Marcus had insisted on at the house. But it was enough. Her phone rang. The lawyer. Mrs. Turner, just confirming everything is filed. The restraining order is in place. If your husband attempts contact, call the police immediately. Okay. One more thing. Be prepared for him to fight this. Men like him often do once they realize what they've lost. Elena looked at Noah, now awake and watching her with curious eyes. Let him fight. I'm not going back. Marcus sat across from his lawyer, a man named Robert Chin who charged $300 an hour and had a reputation for winning difficult cases. Your wife has documented evidence of the affair, Robert said, sliding papers across his desk. Hotel receipts, photographs, text messages. Her case is strong. What are my options? You can fight for joint custody. You're the father. You have rights. But Marcus, I need to be honest with you. Judges favor primary caregivers in infant cases, especially when there's documented infidelity. So I just lose my son? You'll get visitation. Likely supervised at first. But full custody? Robert shook his head. That's not happening unless we can prove your wife is unfit. And from what I see, she's not. Marcus slumped in his chair. How did this happen? You made choices. Now you're facing consequences. The bluntness stung, but it was true. End things with your mistress, Robert continued. Completely. If the judge finds out you're still involved with the woman you cheated with, you can forget about unsupervised visits. Marcus nodded. He'd already done that. Jessica had made it clear she wasn't interested in being part of his mess. She'd stopped returning his calls 3 days ago. Get yourself into therapy, Robert went on. Show the court you're working on yourself. Get a stable living situation. Prove you can be a reliable parent. I am a reliable parent. Then act like it. 3 months passed. Marcus rented a 2-bedroom apartment in a decent neighborhood. He filled the second room with baby furniture he bought from online reviews, most of it still in boxes. He went to therapy every week, talking to a woman named Dr. Sarah Martinez about his marriage and why he cheated. What were you getting from Jessica that you weren't getting at home? Dr. Martinez asked during one session. Marcus thought about it. Simplicity. She didn't need anything from me. No expectations, no responsibilities. Just easy. And what about Elena? Elena needed everything. She was tired all the time after Noah was born. She wanted me to help more, be present more. It felt like no matter what I did, it wasn't enough. So you ran. I guess I did. Running doesn't solve problems, Marcus. It just creates new ones. The divorce moved forward slowly. Elena's lawyer filed motions. Marcus's lawyer responded. Court dates were scheduled, then rescheduled. Marcus was allowed supervised video calls with Noah twice a week, monitored by a court-appointed supervisor. The first video call was awkward. Noah didn't recognize him. The baby cried when Marcus's face appeared on screen. Elena wasn't visible, but but Marcus could hear her soothing voice in the background. By the 5th call, Noah at least looked at him without crying. By the 10th, the baby smiled when Marcus made funny faces. It wasn't enough. Marcus wanted to hold his son, smell his hair, feel the weight of him in his arms. But the supervised calls were all he had. His life became routine. Work, therapy, video calls, the gym. He stopped going out with friends. Stopped doing anything except what the court required and what his lawyer recommended. His mother called every few days, disappointed and concerned in equal measure. His brother visited occasionally, offering support that felt like judgment. Everyone knew what he'd done. Everyone had an opinion about it. Marcus's co-workers treated him differently now. Word had spread about the divorce. People avoided him in the break room, conversation stopping when he approached. He'd lost respect he didn't realize he valued. Jessica texted him once. "I hope things work out for you." He didn't respond. Elena pushed Noah's stroller through the park, enjoying the spring sunshine. At 6 months old, Noah was sitting up on his own, grabbing at everything, babbling in a language only he understood. "He's getting so big," Maya said, walking beside her. "I can't believe he's already half a year old." "Time moves weird now," Elena said. "Some days feel endless, but then I look back and 6 months have passed." "How are you doing?" "Really?" Elena thought about it honestly. "Better. Some days are still hard. But mostly I just feel free." "Have you heard from Marcus?" "Only through lawyers. And the video calls, but I stay off camera for those." "Does he ask about you?" "I don't know. I don't ask." Elena stopped the stroller near a bench. "I spent so much energy trying to save our marriage. Even after I found out about the affair, part of me wanted him to fight for us. To choose us. But he didn't. No. He chose easy over real. And I deserve real." Maya smiled. "Yes, you do." Elena had started working again, freelance graphic design from home. Small projects at first, just enough to build her portfolio back up. Her mother watched Noah a few hours a week, giving Elena time to focus. The apartment didn't feel temporary anymore. She'd unpacked all the boxes, hung pictures on the walls, bought a comfortable couch. It was home now. She joined a single mothers group at the community center. Met women with similar stories, different details but the same core pain. They supported each other, traded babysitting, shared resources. Elena didn't feel alone anymore. Her phone buzzed. An email from her lawyer. Marcus's attorney is requesting a custody modification. He wants unsupervised visits to begin. I'm reviewing the request and will advise. Elena's stomach tightened. She knew this was coming. Marcus had done everything the court asked. Therapy, stable housing, consistent video calls. Eventually, he'd get more access to Noah. She looked at her son, now reaching for a leaf that had fallen near the stroller. Noah didn't know his father. Not really. He knew a face on a screen, but not the man himself. Part of Elena felt guilty about that. But the larger part knew she'd made the right choice. Noah would grow up in a stable home with a parent who was fully present. That was worth more than a two-parent household held together by obligation and resentment. "You okay?" Maya asked. "Yeah," Elena said, pushing the stroller forward again. "I will be." Marcus stood in family court, his lawyer beside him. Across the aisle, Elena sat with her lawyer. It was the first time he'd seen her in person in 6 months. She looked different. Thinner, stronger somehow. Her hair was shorter, cut to her shoulders. She wore a blue dress and looked straight ahead, not at him. The judge reviewed the case. Spoke about Marcus's compliance with court orders, his therapy attendance, the supervised calls. Then she looked at Elena. "Mrs. Turner, your ex-husband is requesting unsupervised visitation. Do you have concerns about his ability to safely care for your son?" Elena stood. Your Honor, I don't doubt that Marcus loves Noah. But I do have concerns about his judgment and reliability. During our marriage, he was rarely present. He chose to spend his time with someone else instead of with his family. I'm worried that pattern will continue. Mr. Turner, the judge said, turning to Marcus. What do you say to that? Marcus stood, his heart pounding. Your Honor, I made terrible mistakes. I destroyed my marriage and hurt the people I love. But I'm trying to do better. I'm in therapy. I've ended the relationship that caused this. I show up for every video call. I just want a chance to be a father to my son. The judge looked at both of them for a long moment. Then she made her ruling. Unsupervised visits would begin. For hours, twice a week, gradually increasing over the next 6 months. Marcus would pick Noah up from a neutral location, Elena's mother's house. He'd return him to the same place. Marcus felt relief and terror in equal measure. He'd gotten what he asked for. Now he had to prove he could handle it. The first unsupervised visit was a disaster. Marcus picked Noah up at Mrs. Chen's house. Elena's mother handed over the baby with a list of instructions a mile long. Feeding schedule, nap times, what to do if he cried, emergency contacts. I've got this, Marcus said, trying to sound confident. Mrs. Chen's expression said she doubted that. Marcus brought Noah back to his apartment. The baby immediately started crying. Marcus tried everything, bottle, diaper change, walking around the room. Nothing worked. Noah just cried and cried, his face red, tears streaming. Marcus called his brother in a panic. He won't stop crying. I don't know what to do. Is he hungry? When did he eat last? An hour ago. Diaper? Just changed it. Maybe he's tired. Marcus tried putting Noah in the crib in the spare bedroom. The baby cried harder. He tried holding him, rocking him, singing to him. The crying continued. After 2 hours of this, Marcus was on the verge of tears himself. He called Elena's mother. He won't stop crying. I've tried everything. Mrs. Chen sighed. Bring him back. I'll take care of it. Marcus drove Noah back to the house, feeling like a complete failure. Mrs. Chen took the baby, who immediately quieted in her arms. She didn't say anything, just closed the door. Marcus sat in his car and cried. The second visit was better. Marcus learned to anticipate Noah's needs, to read his cues. When the baby got fussy, Marcus walked him around the apartment, bouncing gently. It worked. By the fourth visit, they had a routine. Bottle, playtime on a blanket, nap in the crib, more playtime, another bottle. Simple, but it worked. Marcus bought more toys, child-proofed the apartment, learned how to do bath time without getting water everywhere. He started taking pictures during their visits, documenting their time together. His phone was full of photos now. Noah grabbing at a stuffed elephant. Noah sleeping with his mouth open. Noah's first tooth coming in. Small moments that meant everything. But at the end of each visit, Marcus had to give Noah back. Watch Elena's mother take him away. Return to an empty apartment that echoed with absence. His therapist asked him how he was coping. I hate it, Marcus admitted. I hate that I only get 8 hours a week with my son. I hate that I did this to myself. What would you change if you could go back? Everything. I'd choose differently. I'd be present. I'd appreciate what I had instead of looking for something else. You can't change the past, Marcus. You can only work on who you are now. 1 year after Elena left, Marcus stood at his kitchen counter, preparing a bottle for Noah. The baby sat in a high chair, banging a plastic spoon against the tray. The visits had increased. Marcus now had Noah 3 days a week, including overnights. It had taken months of proving himself, of showing up consistently, of being the father he should have been from the start. His apartment looked different now. Baby things everywhere. High chair, playpen, toys scattered across the floor. It looked lived in. It looked like a home. His phone rang. Elena. Hi, he answered, surprised. She never called during his visitation time. Hi. I just wanted to check in. Make sure everything is okay. Yeah, we're good. Just made him a bottle. He's being loud, as usual. Elena laughed softly. He gets that from you. The comment was almost friendly. It caught Marcus off guard. How are you? He asked. I'm okay. Busy with work, but good. Silence stretched between them. Marcus, I wanted to say something. You've been doing really well with Noah. I can see how much you love him. I appreciate that. His throat tightened. Thank you for giving me the chance. You're his father. He deserves to know you. After they hung up, Marcus fed Noah his bottle, watching his son's eyes drift closed as he drank. This little person who existed because of choices Marcus had made. Good choices and terrible ones. He thought about Elena in her apartment, building a life without him. He wondered if she was happy. He hoped she was. His phone buzzed. A text from Jessica, the first in almost a year. I'm getting married. Wanted you to know. Marcus stared at the message. He felt nothing. No jealousy, no regret. Just a distant acknowledgement that she'd moved on. He typed back. Congratulations. He deleted her number after that. Elena sat across from someone new. His name was Daniel, a freelance photographer she'd met through work. He was kind, patient, good with Noah on the occasions they'd crossed paths. So, Daniel said, smiling over his coffee. Tell me something about yourself that I wouldn't learn from your website. Elena thought about it. I'm a single mom. Recently divorced. I have a lot of baggage. Everyone has baggage. What matters is how you carry it. She liked that answer. They talked for 2 hours. About work, about Noah, about favorite books and places they wanted to travel. Daniel listened more than he talked. He asked questions and actually cared about the answers. When they left the coffee shop, Daniel asked if he could see her again. I'd like that, Elena said. And she meant it. She wasn't looking for someone to fix anything or fill a void. She was whole on her own now. But maybe, eventually, she could share that wholeness with someone who valued it. That night, after Noah was asleep, Elena stood on her small balcony looking at the city lights. She thought about the woman she'd been a year ago. Hurt, angry, scared. She thought about the woman she was now. Stronger, independent, building something new. Her phone showed a photo Daniel had texted. The two of them at the coffee shop, laughing at something she couldn't remember now. She saved it. Life kept moving forward. Marcus had his time with Noah. Elena had hers. They co-parented civilly, even kindly on good days. Noah grew and changed, unaware of the complicated history that brought him into the world. Elena had chosen herself and her son. She'd chosen courage over comfort, truth over pretense. And every day, that choice felt more right. She went inside, locked the door behind her, checked on Noah one more time. His chest rose and fell steadily, peacefully. We're okay, she whispered to the sleeping baby. We're more than okay. If this story moved you, hit that like button and subscribe for more real-life stories about love, betrayal, and redemption. Have you ever had to make an impossible choice for your own well-being? Share your story in the comments below. This is a judgment-free zone. And if you know someone who needs to hear this message about choosing courage over comfort, share this video with them. Remember, you're stronger than you think, and you are not alone.